Dad's funny dance moves. This is my summer story. The summer sun was shining through our windows, and warm afternoon light filled the house. Birds chirped outside, and a gentle breeze moved the curtains in the living room. Mom was making fruit salad in the kitchen, and I was helping wash strawberries. Then suddenly, we heard a funny sound. Tap, tap, shuffle, shuffle. Mom looked up and blinked. She said, "What is Dad doing?" I tiptoed across the floor and peeked carefully around the corner. Dad was standing in the living room with giant headphones on his head. His eyes were closed, his shoulders were wiggling, his feet were moving, his arms were swinging through the air. Then he spun around in a big circle. My eyes opened wide. "Whoa," I whispered. "Dad is dancing." Dad did a tiny hop, hop. Then he did a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Then he flapped his elbows out like chicken wings. Flap, flap. I covered my mouth and tried not to laugh. Mom covered her mouth too. My little sister stared with wide eyes. Dad had no idea we were watching him. My little sister tugged gently on my shirt. "What kind of dance is that?" she whispered. I looked very carefully. Dad kicked one foot out. Then he spun around again. Then he wiggled both shoulders. I scratched my head and thought for a moment. "I don't know," I whispered, "but it looks very silly." Suddenly, Dad slid across the floor. Whoosh! Then he leaned to one side. Woo-oo! Then he stretched both arms high into the air. Mom blinked twice. My little sister blinked twice. I blinked twice. Dad looked like a dancing noodle. My little sister started giggling. Tiny giggles. Then bigger giggles. Then giant giggles. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Dad suddenly stopped dancing and slowly opened one eye. Then he opened the other eye. He looked right at us. "Oh," Dad shouted. "You saw my dancing." He put his hands on his hips and pretended to look surprised. Then he smiled a giant smile. "Excuse me," he said dramatically. "These are not ordinary dance moves." We stared at him quietly. Dad raised one eyebrow. "These are super-duper champion dance moves." Mom started laughing again. Dad pointed toward us. "Come on," he said. "Everybody dance." Mom shook her shoulders. I spun in circles. My little sister bounced up and down. Even our dog ran around us in silly little circles. Soon our whole living room became a giggly dance party. Dad showed us even more funny dance moves. The jelly wiggle, the penguin shuffle, the banana bounce, the noodle twist. We copied every move. Some moves looked silly. Some moves looked extra silly. Dad laughed so hard he nearly fell onto the couch. The music played while we danced and laughed together. My cheeks hurt from smiling. Dad bowed and grinned proudly. "Best dance party ever," he announced. I looked at my happy family and smiled. Funny moments can become the happiest summer memories. And that was my summer story.